wealthy nation bowing down to me and make him crown the king. Glorious sound to me, released like Jubilee. The end of poverty, angelic body me. If I leave my throne, you gonna see a different side of me. This prophecy, prophecy. This prophecy, prophecy. This prophecy. This prophecy. Ultra pure gold, gold approach the throne.
Way up to the ceiling. I can't fight this feeling. If your eyes on the kingdom, we got common interests. We've been down so long, oppressing in our members. Twinkling of an eye, now watch us fly like Delta engines. Man, we beneficial when these laws, they benefit you. I got so much channel aggression towards any law official that say we not the people or any artificial that conjured up an image that is contrary to the scriptures. On their feet like polished brass, lightning bolts coming from his visage. You can approach the throne, but not until I extend the golden scepter. That's right, stay in line. Watch me handle mine.
We've been out here showing our people all day is that the people that you read about in this Bible, the Israelites, so-called black folks, and they're the ones that need to keep God's commandments. Those are the people that were given God's commandments. Same way as so-called Hispanics and Native Americans. Some of us may even be of Native American or Hispanic descent. We were scattered all throughout the globe, all throughout the earth, right? God said something for those people. Give me Deuteronomy 10 and 12. Let's start there. Deuteronomy chapter 10, verse 12. Watch this.
The book of Deuteronomy chapter 10 verse 12. And now Israel, what doth the Lord thy God require of thee? But to fear the Lord thy God, to walk in all his ways, and to love him, and to serve the Lord thy God with all thy heart and with all thy soul, to keep the commandments of the Lord. To keep the commandments of the Lord. To keep the commandments of the Lord and his statutes, which I command thee this day for thy good.
God has given us his commandments for our good.
That's right.
Everything that you read about in this Bible is only given to the Israelites for them.
Right.
It's for their help. It's for their salvation. And that's why we can't listen to a Negro when he come and tell us, don't listen to the words written in the book. Right? How do you think we can stop? You think it's anything in the Bible that can help us stop disease, STDs floating around in the community? Syphilis, gonorrhea, herpes, AIDS. You think it's in the Bible that tell us how to defeat that?
I can't tell you yes, I can't tell you no, but by me listening to y'all today, you can profit off of it if you just listen.
Let's show you something. Hebrews chapter 13 and verse 4. Let's see how we can. Matter of fact, get that in Deuteronomy 28 about it. Because God says it's going to happen. God said it was going to happen to his people. Right. We're going to show you what he said it's going to happen in Deuteronomy 28.
The book of Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 61. Also every sickness.
Every what?
Every sickness.
Every sickness. STDs, those are sicknesses, right? Watch this.
And every plague which is not written in the book of this law.
He said not written in the book of this law because guess what? You won't read the words syphilis, herpes, gonorrhea, AIDS, whatever else they got out here floating around. Right? He said you're not going to read that in this book, right? But God says all these sicknesses, read.
Them will the Lord bring upon thee.
What's going to happen?
Them will the Lord bring upon thee.
God said he was going to bring those things upon the children of Israel. Read.
Until thou be destroyed.
Until they are destroyed. Right? Amongst any community, amongst any demographic, any race. Which race is plagued more by STDs?
Bring it on.
It's so-called African Americans.
Right.
That's one thing showing you who God talking about. Don't nobody deal with this on a grand scale like we do as a community. Right? Now watch what God said, how you fix it. Hebrews 13. How do we fix that? Because obviously we know how we get it. We know how we get it. I'm raw dogging her. She raw dogging him. Then they pass that around. They raw dogging over here. They may be running a train on somebody over here. One of them got some. Now she done gave it to somebody else. They run around. It's crazy. You know how it works. So watch what God said. How do we amend that? How do we defeat that? Watch this.
The book of Hebrews chapter 13 verse 4. Marriage is honorable in all.
What God said you got to do?
Marriage is honorable in all.
God said you got to get married.
Right.
And not just to know anybody. Scripture says you got to prove a friend. You got to make sure these people is right in the mind, right physically, all these different things, right? That way we can decide, we can make a decision. All right, we're gonna be together, we're gonna be married, we're gonna raise up children, we're gonna raise up a family. And guess what we're gonna do? We're gonna keep these commandments.
Right. That's right.
Read.
Marriage is honorable and all, and the bed undefiled.
Marriage honorable and all, and the bed is undefiled. When you married, the bed undefiled, you do what you want to do with your wife. If it's a woman, you do what you want to do with your husband. You married? What you doing? You got somebody, you know what I'm saying? Got a couple of them out here running around? You got one out here running around. Well, this the thing. Your next steps after this should be preparing yourself either to marry that sister or leave her alone till you get your mind right. Because watch what God say.
But whoremongers.
Because if you decide to go outside of marriage, read, like we all have done, we was all sleeping around with different women, all kind of stuff, right? We ain't telling it to you like we ain't never did it before. We telling it to you because we know better now. Read.
But whoremongers and adulterers, God will judge.
Whoremongers and adulterers, God gonna judge. How would he judge them? Nah. How about them six? How about you wake up one morning and your pee hot. Now you're running down to the clinic. You're trying to figure out what's going on. Yes. That's God's judgment. God do that. That's how God moves.
Right.
God a black man, by the way, in case you didn't know that.
Yeah, actually that's what I was learning from my mans over there. But
Yes.
now, you say he's gonna, I thought like a punishment.
That's it. That's punishment. You who want to walk around the rest of their life burning? There you go. So read again.
Marriage is honorable and all, and the bed undefiled.
So that's why we advocate and promote marriage. Get married with somebody, settle down, and leave it that. Leave it be. Be content with that, read.
But whoremongers
Because if you don't, whoremongers,
and adulterers,
adulterers, sleeping around,
God will judge.
God will judge. I don't want that judgment from God.
Right.
You shouldn't want that judgment from God either. And it extends far beyond just the STDs. What about baby mama, baby daddy drama? Now you done messed around. You got a sister pregnant. She crazy as hell. You think you finna stop messing with her? Just like, yeah, it's over with. I'm through with you. See, I still be in the baby life, but I ain't dealing with you. No. Now she slashing your tires. Now she putting chocolate in your gas tank. Every time you somewhere, she's somewhere. Ready to bust you upside your head, finna run you over in the car. She seen you on Facebook and Instagram with some other sister. Yeah, it's real. It happens. God say what? Read it again.
But whoremongers and adulterers, God will judge.
That's how God judge you. So
That's right.
what real love would tell me to do is come out and tell my people. Tell God's people, because you God's chosen people. Leviticus 19:17. Tell them how you can save your life. Right? Because God say choose life. So how you going to do that? What options do I have if the only choice I got is life or death? So in me choosing life, I got to know how to do that. One of those things is stop sleeping around. Get yourself together. Get married with the sister that you prove to be right for you in your life. If that particular sister you dealing with ain't that, let her go. Go ahead and just, yeah, it's over with. I can't deal with you like that, because the Bible say we the Israelites. God says we his chosen people. We got to keep his commandments, or we'll be judged for it. But this is what real love would do.
The book of Leviticus, chapter 19, verse 17.
That's why we out here, right? We ain't out here to fuss at people to jump on folks. Now they get out their body and start acting crazy, then we got to come a little harder, right? But we can deal. Watch this.
Thou shalt not hate thy brother in thine heart. Thou shalt in any wise rebuke thy neighbor.
So, in me coming out, and these brothers coming out to rebuke our neighbor, that just means correct. It said, thou shalt not hate thy what?
Thou shalt not hate thy brother in thine heart. Thou shalt in any wise rebuke thy neighbor.
So if I want to come out and show that I don't hate my people, guess what I got to come out and do? I got to come out here and rebuke them. I got to come tell them, hey, stop sleeping around. Stop smoking dope. You smoke? 1 Corinthians 3:16, see? I'm showing you how to choose life, because you have a choice, right? You have a choice. You are written in that book until you erase yourself out of it, right? Watch this.
The book of 1 Corinthians chapter 3, verse 16. Know ye not that ye are the temple of God, and that the Spirit of God dwelleth in you?
So it says, don't you know you're the temple of God, and the Spirit of God dwell in you? Read.
If any man defile the temple of God.
What's the temple? What's that referencing? Your body, right? Watch this.
If any man defile the temple of God, him shall God destroy.
We defile our temples, God destroys us. You ever seen, like, I don't know if they make them now, but those commercials where the people, like, they'll be like smoking or something. And then eventually they get down, they show to the end of this person's life, and now they got like this hole in their neck. They got to put this thing, they got cancer, right? That's an example of God destroying you for defiling your temple. A lot of times we see people who can keep on doing, you know what I'm saying? They smoke all their life and don't nothing happen to them. That ain't the case for everybody. And that also does not mean that they will not get judged for what they did. They just didn't get judged. You just see them. You just didn't see them get judged, right? So us knowing that, we got to put the cigarette smoke down. We got to put the weed smoke down. If you smoke black and mild, you got to put that down. It even say on the side of the box, it can kill you. Right. This can cause cancer. But black folks say, yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and buy this pack right here, right? I'm gonna go ahead and get this. I'm gonna go ahead and get these little Rillos right quick. And they tell you, the white man tell you it's gonna kill you. Brother said the white man wrote the Bible. You won't listen to that, but the white man wrote the instructions on your car. He wrote the Surgeon General warning. We don't care about what the white man say then, but then when it come down to the Bible, oh wait a minute, the white man wrote that. I can't deal with that. Right. No, the Bible, the blackest book on the face of the earth. Right. This Bible, let me tell you something. This book ain't got nothing good for so-called white people in it. Right. Read Revelation 13:10 again. I just want to show them, just so you understand that I'm not just saying that. Right. Revelation 13:10.
The book of Revelation, chapter 13, verse 10. He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity.
So this happened, right? Slavery happened. We went into captivity, right? Who led us into captivity? So you mean tell me all these black folks jumped on a slave ship and drove by themselves and jumped off? Oh, okay. All right. Now we got it. Read again.
He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity.
See what God say about those that lead people into captivity? Look at this. Slave ships, cotton fields, auction blocks, your baby's gator bait. Right. What God say about it?
He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity.
Anybody that's doing this here, especially to God's people, they're going to go into captivity. Right. Read.
He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword.
Didn't they kill us during those times? Yeah. They kill us and they still kill us to this day. What God say about it?
He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword.
That's judgment.
Shalom, Israel. This is Bishop Nathaniel. I want you to know that you can view all our Sabbath classes live on IUIC TV. That's right, I said on IUIC TV. Download the app today. Shalom.
That's their judgment. That's what's going to happen today. That's what the Bible say about it.
That's right.
He want to know, how did they get the power to put us at the bottom?
How did they get the power to put us at the bottom? That's a good question. It's a real good question. Zariah. That's a real good question. How did they get the power, right? Because we being, especially us being as great as we are, right? What happened to us that allows another nation that's of less stature, of less physical strength, even less mental capacity, to now take us as slaves and rule over us? Give me Judith chapter 5 and verse 20. Watch this. And this is something that's been known amongst the other nations, or God calls the heathen, since time immemorial, right? As a matter of fact, before you go to that, get Ezekiel 39:23. Watch what the Bible say about it. It's going to give you the answer as to how we ended up in this condition, especially being such a great people as we are, right? Matter of fact, you can put this down, actually. Ezekiel 39:23.
The book of Ezekiel, chapter 39, verse 23. And the heathen shall know that the house of Israel...
Start at verse 22.
Verse 22. The house of Israel shall know that I am the Lord their God from that day and forward.
So this is how we know. These key scriptures and these things, everything that's written in the Bible is how we know the God of heaven and earth is our God, the God of the Israelites and the Israelites alone. Right? Watch what the Bible say.
And the heathen shall know.
And the heathen, that's the other nations. That's everybody outside of the 12 tribes of Israel. God calls the so-called white man a heathen. The God calls the so-called Arab man a heathen. He called the so-called Chinese and Japanese a heathen. So God says the heathen gonna know, right? Especially when you look around, right? It seems as if these heathen nations, they are the ones that profit off of our downfall. That's why we got gas stations run by other nations. We got food spots like the Chinese restaurant, the hair store, the nail salon that our sisters like to go to. That's Chinese folks. Everything else, the white man run, right? In our community. All we are set to operate as consumers. We just buy into what they have, and none of that stuff fixes or changes anything in our community. Right. They know that. But this is what they understand about that. Watch this.
And the heathen shall know that the house of Israel...
The house of Israel, the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, what happened?
went into captivity.
Why did the Israelites go into captivity? I'm going to answer the question.
For their iniquity.
For their what?
For their iniquity.
For their iniquity. You know what iniquity is? What's that? That's your sin, right? Read whole letter, get Psalms 38 and verse 18. Show what iniquity is. Right? It said the heathen shall know that the children of Israel went into captivity for their iniquity. Psalms 38 verse 18.
Bring it out.
Get that for you right quick. Read that.
The book of Psalms, chapter 38, verse 18. Verse 18. For I declare my iniquity.
David said he declared his iniquity. Read, and if you use another word that explains what iniquity is.
I will be sorry for my sin.
For my what?
For my sins.
So iniquity is the same thing as sin. And sin is when we break God's commandments. 1 John 3 and 4, let's show them. Keep holding Ezekiel 23 though. Ezekiel 23, 29 or 39, 23. Keep holding that, but give me 1 John so we can show them what sin is.
I remember hearing that last
And everybody else that's listening. This for everybody else that's out here too. Watch this.
The book of 1 John chapter 3, verse 4. Whosoever committeth sin, transgresseth also the law. For sin is the transgression of the law.
The Bible tells us what sin is. It's the transgression or the breaking of God's commandments. So now we got a little better understanding. Go back to Ezekiel 39, 23 now.
The book of Ezekiel chapter 39, verse 23. And the heathen shall know that the house of Israel went into captivity for their iniquity.
For their iniquity or their sin, for breaking their God's commandments. Read.
Because they trespassed against me. Therefore hid I my face.
So for that reason, God hid his face from us. Read.
Therefore hid I my face from them, and gave them into the hand of their enemies. So fell they all by the sword.
So how do we end up amongst our enemies? It's because our sin. And our God, our Father says, you know what? I'm finna go ahead and give them into slavery because they won't listen to me. Now I'm gonna force you to listen to these other nations, right? Why do you think they continue to push things like rap music that only glorifies the murder of our people, drug dealing, whoremongering amongst our people, just evil amongst our people? But all that is for all of our young children, our young daughters, and our young sons to see, right? Why do you think they push that? Why do you think they pay them rappers so much money to make that? Some of them rappers don't even live that type of life.
Right.
But they put it on wax, they put it on the song, and they make sure that you in the hood, you live that life. Listen to that music, the things they put on TV for us. There's never a positive image of black people on TV. We always shown as those that's in the projects, those that are thugs, those that are gangsters. One of the, who was they call us, a super predator? Bill Clinton. Black folk love Bill Clinton. But not some 30 years ago, we were super predators in his eyes. Joe Biden can't stand black folk. For some reason, black folk went crazy voting for Joe Biden. Right? And now we see to this day that has not helped us at all. The only thing that the main thing they understand is, and how to keep their kingdom going, how to keep this place we call America operating, is by keeping God's people in sin. Now give me Judah chapter 5, verse 20.
That's right.
When we continue we go on the things that they promote, like even things like Christmas, that's a sin.
Right.
Thanksgiving, celebrating that as a sin.
Right.
Valentine's Day, sin. All these different things, we didn't know that at one point in time. But God gives us high holy days. He gives us things like Passover, the new moon, different high holy days, the Sabbath even. Today, every week, it's a high holy day, Saturday, right? But guess what black people do? Do they observe it? Right, black folks don't observe it. And for that reason, we are still in captivity. Like this store right here, supposed to be closed today.
That's right.
Every Saturday, it's supposed to be a black boycott all over the face of the earth.
Right. That's right.
You know how much money these nations make every Saturday off of us? That's when we come to the store because we've been at work all week. We get our check Friday. Yo, we go on Saturday. We going to spend the money.
Right.
And God say on that very day that we ain't supposed to be spending no money at all. God gave us the keys. It's us that go against it.
Right.
So that's why we went into slavery. And guess what? Everybody around us, except for us, seem to know that. Watch what the Bible says.
The book of Judah, chapter 5, verse 20.
Bring it out.
Now therefore, my Lord and Governor, if there be any error in this people.
There's two other nations, right? This is during the time of our forefather Judith, right? They're planning to conquer the Israelites. How they gonna do it? How we gonna go up into Jerusalem and pretty much take these people captive, right? We're gonna kill the men and we're gonna take the women, right? Because they women beautiful. We're gonna take them. We're gonna kill all these Negroes up here. How can we do that? They're trying to figure, they strategizing, right? Read.
if there be any error,
Now, this is one that knew the history of the Israelites, the history of God's people. Watch what he said.
if there be any error in this people,
What you need to understand about the Israelites is that there's any error in them, meaning any sin or iniquity in them, if they're going against God, read.
and they sin against their God,
Sin against who?
their God,
Who's God?
their God.
They always know the God of this Bible is not their God.
Right.
That's right.
But to make you think it is, guess what they do now? They paint them white. You see what I'm saying? Read.
Let us consider that this shall be their ruin.
That right there is the ruin of black people, because this right here, not only it's historically inaccurate. Jesus Christ ain't never looked like this, but it also teaches a different message. You change his image, you change everything he talked about. You change everybody he talked to. Because you paint him black, now you got to start asking yourself, well, maybe he only loved black people. Well, let me paint him white then so we can include ourselves in the mix. They always understood this Bible ain't had nothing to do with them. But in order to trick us or to keep us in sin, they changed things like that, the image of Christ.
To make us bow down to them.
Yeah, exactly. Watch this.
And let us go up, and we shall overcome them.
He said if they in error, if they in sin, we can go up and we'll overcome them. They've always known that. Read.
But if there be no iniquity in their nation,
But if there be no iniquity in their nation, meaning they ain't sinning, read.
let my Lord now pass by.
He said, I'm gonna go ahead and tell you something. If they ain't in sin, go ahead and pass on by. Don't even mess with them folks up there. Why?
Lest their Lord defend them, and their God be for them. And we become a reproach before all the world.
They know that. They know when we come into our rulership, when we come into our power, when we as the Israelites come into our right mind, keeping God's commandments, the end of their world begins.
Right.
And God's kingdom on this earth is established in Christ, with the Israelites, so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans ruling. It's on the back of that flyer. I'm gonna give you one commandment right quick, because I see that cross on your neck, right? Let me show you something. Isaiah chapter 30, real quick.
Bring it out.
Matter of fact, Deuteronomy 7:25.
That's right.
Deuteronomy 7:25. Check this out, bro. This is one of the commandments that we got to come back to keeping in order for everything to change for us. Because we've tried politics, we've tried voting, we've tried marching, we've tried fraternal organizations. Like I said, you got your Mason hat on, right? We've tried all those different things. But it still ain't worked for us yet. We missing something, got to be missing something. I'm going to show you something.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 7, verse 25. The graven images of their gods shall ye burn with fire.
It said the graven images, that cross, that's a graven image of their gods.
Right.
Christ died on the cross. Why would he want you to wear one around your neck to symbolize his death?
Bring it out.
Read out.
What God say about it?
The graven images of their gods shall ye burn with fire.
God say stuff like that. The cross, some of our people wear ankhs, all these different things. He said you got to burn that with fire. Read.
Thou shalt not desire the silver or gold that is on them, nor take it unto thee, lest thou be snared therein.
We get snared in these things. We see these crosses as like as a religious or a type of protection from God, but we snared in that. We snared in the mindset of Caesar Borgia. That's who they modeled this white image of Christ after, the man named Caesar Borgia, the son of Rodrigo Borgia. He was a pope at the time. That's where that image comes from. And it was used to put our people in slavery. When they jumped off them ships and they came over here to the Native Americans, so-called, they had a picture of that man right there saying, you either worship this or you die.
Right.
And that's what they did.
Right.
So they put us to death, and those of us that, obviously didn't want to die, start serving that.
That's right.
You see what I'm saying? And that's why still to this day, we wear those crosses around our neck.
Bring it out.
God say, nuh-uh. Read it again.
I'm sorry. The graven images of their gods shall ye burn with fire. Thou shalt not desire the silver or gold that is on them, nor take it unto thee, lest thou be snared therein. For it is an abomination to the Lord thy God.
I mean, you got to take it out, bro. I mean, you got to take that cross off your neck. It's an abomination. You got to let it go. That's part of us coming back to our glory. Getting rid of these things that we thought were okay, that we thought were biblical. We have to get rid of those things.
What is a nation? Nation is men leading by example. Exploitation is family.